Hello and welcome to day 4. Today I want to discuss problem energy. If you are an empath like me, you've spent a lot of your life making sure everyone else around you is okay and sensing their energy, feeling their energy, and just in general not being able to relax until you know everyone else is good. So with that comes this a lot of people are coming to you constantly with their problems, and I didn't really understand this at first. It took me quite a while, possibly this whole all of 2024, to really get to this point. But you don't have to solve other people's problems, which seems so simple and not difficult to come to as a realization. But when you're an empath and you spend your whole life doing that, it's so difficult to turn it off. It is a really hard habit to break. So my mother, we would always joke and say that she was like Lucy from Peanuts, psychiatry or therapy, 5 cents, because everyone would come to my mother with their issues and problems and ask for her advice and how she would solve it and all of these things. And it drained the life out of her completely. She was very exhausted because she had always been giving and giving and giving and not filling up her own cup. She wasn't taking her own advice or fixing her own problems. So I just wanted to kind of discuss this a little bit further, because when someone comes to you with a problem, especially if you are really centered and in your own space and you're grounded, and someone comes to you with a problem, you don't have to respond. It's really very simple. You can just be there in presence, and the person will they'll either keep talking and solve their own problem because you're holding that space without giving away any of your energy, still protecting your peace and not emotionally reacting to their problem or getting involved in it. Or they will just kind of let it go and not even keep discussing it. They might ask you what do you think about this? If someone's actually coming to you for advice, you're opening up that space for them. You're saying, okay, I have the energy and the time to listen to you, and I will give you feedback. But 90% of that is really you just listening and holding that space. And if you don't want to hold that space, you just let them know that I don't have the space or time or energy to respond to this or give you any feedback or give you any advice right now. So can we just have a rain check on this, or give them some options, maybe they could journal about it. Some people just need to discuss things out loud. As a neurodivergent person, this really helps me, just doing these videos. I need to also take my own advice on this and tell people no when I can't physically help them with their problems, mentally, spiritually, all of that. So it's about boundaries, and also about protecting your own peace, as well as allowing them to come to their own conclusions. And this is kind of also how I want to approach my coaching as well. I've been seeing a life coach for almost 2 months, I think, now. And really, in a lot of ways, I do compare it to therapy, but there's a solution within life coaching that doesn't exactly get resolved in therapy because of the whole being grounded, the spiritual life coaching at least, where we have meditation elements involved. But it's really just about the coach holding space, so that there's some times in sessions where I am just blabbing for the whole time, or majority of the time, and I come to all this clarity within myself, and then they are there to guide you in the right direction or ask the right questions to continue you down your path to this realization. So it's really cool because that's like, I've had that space held open for me. And then for people who I don't have the ability to hold space for, because the problem energy is just too much for me to take on, I am learning to have boundaries around that and how to respond so that I protect my energy. And then I'm also learning how I want to approach my coaching. So if you are interested in this type of coaching practice, I would be really interested in connecting with you, and especially if you're neurodivergent and working towards decluttering. I'm focusing on both external and internal decluttering, because for a lot of us, when our minds are cluttered, especially a neurodivergent person, let's say someone with ADHD, where things are just, I always say my ADHD is popping off, where you're just going from one thing to the next, to another thought, to this thought, to a physical thing that you're doing, and then you forget about that, and you go to the next thing, and ooh, I should work on this, and oh, I should do this, and blah, blah, blah. That creates chaos in your outer world. So I want to help people declutter that outer world while connecting with their inner, and it'll just bring a balance in your life between the two. And this has been an approach that I brought to my own life. This is how I came to know that this is like what I want to focus on with people, or potential clients, is because I was living on my own, and I had naturally just started getting rid of things and giving stuff away. I did sell some stuff because I had the energy at that point to do that. I had a lot of like higher priced items that I could sell pretty easily. And then I moved in with family, and all of my stuff was in the garage for well over 6 months. And I had gone in there and taken a few things out here and there that I needed. But then once summer came around and I was ready to tackle that project of going through everything that was in my apartment, especially when you're moving in with family who already has like a lot of things that you have in your own apartment. But the kitchen stuff, I was having a lot of issues using my grandmother's kitchen stuff because it just it's not something I was comfortable with using, so I had to go out and grab my stuff when I eventually started cooking again. I took a lot of time just like learning to meditate and hold my own space and clear my own energy, that I pretty much couldn't focus on things like making myself meals and, being healthier. I just had to I was very much in survival mode and just kind of living day by day. So I tackled the stuff in my garage, and I got rid of 90% of the stuff in there because I hadn't used it for so long, over 6 months, and I did not need any of it, I realized. And I also changed how I dress, so a lot of my clothes didn't resonate with me anymore. It's a lot of old energy as well, things that we're holding on that are keeping us at a certain vibration or holding us back from raising our vibration because we're holding on to this old energy. And I just want to help people cleanse that energy, cleanse themselves, cleanse their space, set the space to their energy in present time, bringing that energy into present time so that you can declutter and then think more clearly, have more, direction, and follow your intuition easier, because it all goes together. Like once I cleared that out, my next project was clearing out our basement and some storage areas that we have in the house, because I had things that I had packed away before I moved out, like years before. So I had to go through all of that stuff, and it is not a job that is easy, and it does take time, and you just have to have patience and take it step by step. And that's what I want to help people do through my life coaching, is breaking it up into those more manageable chunks and tackling things little by little so that you can see longer lasting results. Because anyone can just go into their space and just clear it out and donate everything and then live with all of these thoughts. Like I've even had these thoughts as I've gone through the process of like, should I have gotten rid of that? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I donated that. And some things I even thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got rid of that. And then it ended up I didn't get rid of that. Like I thought I got rid of my one winter coat, and I was like, man, it would be kind of nice to have that winter coat. Turns out I did not get rid of it. I missed that one tote in the garage, and my dad pulled it out, and now I have that coat, even though I just got a new one for Christmas from him. At least, I guess it's nice to have two coats, One is kind of more like, I would say maybe the one that I found is a little bit slightly warmer, and it's lighter weight, so I guess it just kind of depends. But it was just like kind of the universe being like, see, you had this all along, you didn't have to worry about it. Or I think of something that I should have maybe kept because I might need it, but then I'm able to find something else in this house, because there's so much stuff in this house. Find something else that I can use for that same purpose. So it's like another way of looking at it, where you're like not regretting the past and moving on into the future and being present and okay with what you have in this moment, because all of your needs are being met. And then just knowing that they will always be met. The universe is always going to provide if you believe in that. And if you do believe that I have nothing, I got rid of all my stuff, I regret all of it, then that's what the energy you're bringing into your future. But if you're just in this moment present and proud of yourself for everything that you've accomplished, even if it's you cleared out one closet, you're taking those steps towards the bigger goal. And I've also been doing a lot of like living through tower moments of like crumbling foundations, of just pretty much relearning everything. Like I said in another video with yoga, I just kind of stripped all of my knowledge of it and just went into it with an open mind and just open to learning and not feeling like, oh, I already know all the answers. And did the same thing with being vegan again, or eating healthier, exercising in general, just any habits that I have failed at creating positively in the past. I just am recreating them with a new foundation and new knowledge. And I want to guide people in that as well, because people who are neurodivergent, we really have an issue with our executive functioning. And building healthy habits, we want them now. We want to wake up tomorrow at 8 a.m. and work out and eat healthy and get our 9 hours of sleep. I need a lot of sleep. And just be go productive, blah, blah, blah. But it's just not how that works. And it's really about this whole taking it slow, building the right foundations, and making sure that you give yourself grace and, celebrate your little accomplishments, as small as they are. If you just woke up 5 minutes earlier than you do usually, that's an accomplishment. And the more that you stick to this and give yourself good feedback, you're gonna create lasting results because you're taking it slow. It's like that whole slow and steady wins the race, and no one who's neurodivergent wants to hear that. We are impatient beings. I have been impatient my whole life, but the patience is there, and it's key, and it's part of it. And I just want to hold space for people so that they can connect with that part of themselves and see the results in their lives, because once one thing starts going well, it just creates a ripple effect. And now I pretty much have everything where I want it to be. I'm still working on a routine, but I'm slowly building towards that, and I'm seeing the results, and I'm aware of it. And that's another thing, is just having the awareness and not being like, I'm a failure, I'm not where I need to be, comparing yourself to others, being in competition with yourself and others. Like, none of that matters, and you just have to let that go. And that is how, with spiritual life coaching, I will help release things that you need to let go through healings and helping you meditate. So if you're interested in any of this fun jazz, I would love to connect with you. My bio has my website and other links to my other social medias, as well as in this video, there should be my website in the description. And I also have my email address down there if you would just like to connect and have some like general questions about coaching in general. I personally had issues accepting the fact that I needed some coaching. I first of all needed to experience what coaching was like, besides just like I did have like one experience with a really lovely coach, like a call that was like an hour long, and it was free and it was amazing. And that was my first introduction to it. And then I was able to connect with someone that I had classes with, and we have been coaching, like I said, for a few months. And I just really needed this experience to be able to see what kind of coach I want to be and how I want to approach it and how I want to help people. So it's been a learning experience as well as a healing experience for myself. And that is just the step I'm ready to take now, is to share my knowledge with others. So please send me an email if you have any questions. And then please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm really looking forward to more videos on here and sharing with y'all. So thank you for listening. And I didn't do a heart yesterday, but if you made it to the end of this video, please put a yellow heart. All right, thanks.